Brandon Adam. We are here to talk about the Week 16 slate for your fantasy football playoffs, baby. It's the semifinals. Win and you're into the big dance. Brandon, please tell me you got a few teams alive, still kicking, still breathing. How we doing, brother?
We're doing okay. The Adam squads are doing okay. Last week was a rough one. The teams I didn't have a first round buy-in. I got clipped in a couple of leagues, but it's just tough when you make the wrong. The late swap that cost you. That happened to me. I late swapped Jared Goff with I swapped out Tom Brady for Jared Goff, and I lost because of that. So that is part of the game. That is part of fantasy football. It hurts, but late tinkering is not good. I don't know why I was doing that, but I did.
Sometimes you have to just trust your gut, man. I feel, and maybe it's just because it's every year it feels like this, but this year it feels far more a battle of attrition at this stage of the game. I mean, for those of you who followed the DFS Army draft kit, which I hope you did. I really hope you did, because in my season-long leagues was crushing it pretty well. And then my soul is going to be crushed this week because Jalen Hurts, of course, is not playing. I'd say he's been carrying a lot of teams. I was telling you that in one of my Superflex leagues, I only had one quarterback left because I have just attrition, and it was Zach Wilson, and he gave me like 2.5 points in the Superflex. So that one's not looking too great.
That was a good team too. It's just awful.
I know, it was such a good team. It's so painful. But fantasy football hurts. And you know what? If you're staring at your matchup and you're like a 20-point, 30-point underdog, I understand not everybody who listens to the show believes in Christmas or celebrates Christmas, but hey, man, we all wouldn't mind a Christmas miracle today, the 24th. So, of course, we're recording this morning of the 24th. We record every Saturday morning, but the difference between today and every other Saturday, Brandon, is we got pretty much a full slate of games going today. Of course, there's a few games being played tomorrow. So we were trying to decide how we wanted to play it this week. We could do the flex plays, but just based off of the format, based off the fact that there's really only, 4 teams that are still alive in most of these playoff matchups. We're going to just go by game, discuss some of the plays we like, some of the plays we don't, some of the environments we like, some of the environments we don't like, and then we'll just highlight some of the players that we enjoy. So, of course, we are here to answer all of your start-sit questions. So if you are live in the chat and we see Clipboard Jesus, we see you, Bali. What's going on, brother?
Yes, Bali's got a monster team.
I know. Well, I took out Bali last week.
Yep.
I slayed Goliath, and this week, unfortunately, I am shorthanded. No Jalen Hurts. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. But Bali, appreciate you. Clipboard Jesus is coming in hot, asking, would we rather play Taysom Hill in that absolutely putrid game environment going up against Cleveland, or Mark Andrews in the tight end position? That one's tough, man. That one's really tough.
I'm just going to stay Andrews. I'm just going to stay there.
I think you got it. So they're going up against Atlanta. It's the third best matchup for tight ends in the league. If Tyler Huntley, who is the 4th alternate in votes,
I can't believe that,
which is a travesty. In 3 games, he's barely thrown for 400 yards. He has 3 touchdowns.
Disgusting.
It's absolutely putrid. But I would definitely go Mark Andrews there. Marquise Goodwin or Cordero Patterson. I think you got to play Goodwin. Patterson is going up against Baltimore, and Baltimore's the 3rd best in terms of points, third best defense against the rush. So not a good rushing matchup. I would avoid him. And we got one quick going: Geno versus Sam Darnold. Ooh, this one's interesting.
Geno. He's going to be chasing against KC. He's going to be throwing. He's going to throw a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Listen.
I am right. Don't fuck around. I am right.
My job is to not overanalyze shit. Like that's when people ask me all these starts and questions in the DFS Army VIP Discord, I often say, don't overthink this shit. Sam Darnold will be overthinking it. You got to go. Geno. Jen's in the house. What's going on, Jen? Thanks for jumping on. Okay.
She's going to crush me in our league. She's going to smash me.
I love it when she breaks dreams and hopes.
I know. It's good. She's going to smash me.
Let's get dirty. Let's talk about this Buffalo Bills at the Chicago Bears. Just played in Chicago. It's a 40-point over-under. Listen, we know that on the Chicago side, you're probably going to want to be playing Justin Fields, right? Even in scrappy conditions, but the other skill positions like David Montgomery.
Monty and Fields are the two plays.
Yeah, and I think just based on the fact that the environment's going to be one that they're going to favor the run, it should favor both those players, especially Justin Fields. He's going to crush. Now, Buffalo, you're playing Joshy. You're probably going to play Devin Singletary if you have him.
Yes.
At this point, like I don't think James Cook is a safe start. He's too risky.
No. So last week, Devin Singletary's snap percentage was 67% of the snaps. So he's not letting go of that job. So everybody that wants to cook the heat up, it's just not going to happen. He's not going to be consistent. It's just not.
Yeah. And then obviously playing Stephon Diggs. Now, what about these peripheral wide receivers? Like you like the Gabe Davis matchup,
yes,
but
I like
really horrible. Like there's going to be heavy winds, but the weather
it's going
report
to be
here. It looks like it's going to be 20 to 25 miles per hour sustained winds, gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour. It's going to be rough. The weather's cold.
I like Knox, Allen, and Singletary for the Bills.
Okay. But Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, you're probably going to avoid those players.
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah.
Here we go. We got the flex league, baby. Let's go. Okay, we got some Carden, the Colts fan. Caden. I apologize and offer my condolences for being a Colts fan because you got a rough couple of years ahead of you, brother. Especially if they decide to keep Jeff Saturday, which would, in my opinion, seems like would be a mistake. He's making inconsistent decisions. To think Nick, I'm not going to go on a rant. I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated with that team.
Just do it.
I just don't understand how he thinks Nick Foles in the 11th hour is going to come in and help win games better than Matt Ryan. I get it. I get that Matt Ryan hasn't been performing the way that we hoped that he would. But at this point of the season, man, just ride it out. Let the man win. You have no hopes of making the playoffs. But at least Matt Ryan can keep your players fantasy relevant. I'm not confident Nick Foles can, man. He doesn't throw the ball. It's frustrating. Okay. You got DeAndre Hopkins, KJ Osborne, who just had a monster game, but he's still going to be third fiddle, frankly, to Thielen and Mr. Justin Jefferson or Marquise Goodwin. I'm leaning DeAndre Hopkins, right? Like you have to.
It's going to be Hop. It's Hop all day. He has a great matchup against Carlton Davis, so I'm go Hop all day. McSorley's got to lean on him. He's going to be he's going to be a one read type of guy. So one read and run type of quarterback. So that one read is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. So he's going to try.
There you go. And it sounds like Irsay is going to go in on Will Levis. Listen, that's like our guy, Flex Matt.
I love Will Levis. I love Will Levis, dude.
He's still a little bit raw. Listen, I'm just finally starting to dabble into this college rookies because we do like to get heavy into the dynasty in about 3 weeks. We're going to be talking heavy dynasty.
Yes.
Will Levis is still a little bit raw. Doesn't he have I think he's got one of the best arms in class. Some people are saying he's one of the best arms in the nation right now. Like
he has one of the best releases. He has one of the best releases that's coming out in the last few years. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So Caden, if you don't trust DeAndre Hopkins, listen, if you're the third stringer, you're going to have one read and it's going to be straight to your best player. And that's going to be DeAndre Hopkins. That's the logic behind this. We saw Hopkins throughout his entire career, frankly, has been able to produce because he was that top read. Yes, he's lost a step. If you're not confident, I'm still going Hopkins, right? Out of those three players, he's by far the best player, even at this stage of his career. I would be okay with Marquise Goodwin. If you're playing KJ Osborne, I feel like you're going to be chasing points. And the Seattle matchup is a solid passing matchup. So I'm okay with Marquise Goodwin, but I would still lean DeAndre Hopkins. And the question of Schultz versus Waller, man, this one, Waller had a good game last week, right?
Sure did.
Very solid great. And that was
he looked great.
Patriots matchup.
He looked great.
Man,
I like Waller.
I think I trust Waller more because Schultz is going up against the Dallas Cowboys, against the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's going to be challenging. Yeah, I think that's going to be tough. Okay, let's move on to our second game here. Of course, now I have to get reorganized after. Okay, we got Cleveland at New Orleans. Now this one, man, this is going to be another weather game that I sincerely worry about. Brandon, Vegas has this game at a 32-point over/under. 32 points. I can't remember ever seeing an over-under that low.
That's so bad.
Frankly, so from the Cleveland perspective, I don't want to start anybody, right? Like you can't start in David Njoku, Amari Cooper, the pass catchers. You just can't in these conditions. Deshaun Watson has done nothing. Nick Chubb, I guess you're okay to start, right? For the same
Nick
logic we
Chubb,
talked about
100%.
the running backs in the other game.
Mm-hmm.
On the Saints side, Chris Olave is out. So that would give a bit of a bump for Juwan Johnson, who's an absolute, frankly, he's a touchdown maven right now, Brandon. Like he's been insane. He's either getting a 0 or 2 touchdowns, it feels like, pretty much every game. Do you trust Alvin Kamara in the slightest for this game? It's the 29th ranked matchup, which means it's a bright green, baby. It's a solid matchup, but again, it's the conditions.
They got to lean on the run. I think both teams are going to be leaning on the run, and at least Kamara gives you that pass catching ability, that screen game a little bit. That's more creative than Nick Chubb. So I don't mind Kamara at all. I think he's good. I think he's a good start.
Okay, we're okay with that. Traquan Smith, Marquez Callaway. You're avoiding both those guys. Do not get cute. We've had a bunch of questions about Taysom Hill just in general, but the Discord this week. The logic being that
why?
Because you can. Well, it's because he's eligible for the tight end position, and because of the weather conditions, they think they're going to lean on the run game a little bit more. I'm avoiding Taysom Hill, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you got to be in scoring position to be able to score. Otherwise, Taysom Hill is going to be a dud. I have no confidence starting Taysom Hill. Listen, if you have to because. I don't know. You have no other good, valid tight end choices. Fine, do it. But Caden, he's got Derrick Henry this week going up against the Texans, which is a nuts matchup for Derrick Henry, and a couple of duds. Sounds like he's got a couple of Jets, which I had to play. That's fantastic. Caden, if you do, hit us up on Twitter at DFS Army. Let us know if you win the championship. That'd be sick, dude.
Henry's smashing this week.
Beautiful. Okay, let's move on to a more tantalizing game. We got the Texans going up against Tennessee, man. And this one's interesting because it's, again, a 35.5 over-under, which is quite low. But, I mean, for Derrick Henry, it's the smash nuts matchup. I'm kind of interested a little bit. If Treylon Burks does play, he practiced all week. He still needs to be cleared through the concussion protocol. But I don't.
I know what you're saying.
Horrible matchup. It's not a horrible matchup, especially if so it's Malik Willis is going to be playing, right? News came across that Ryan Tannehill had the surgery. It sounds like he's going to miss at least the rest of the regular season. Chances are he's done for the year, right? I don't think Tennessee is going to make the playoffs. Do you?
No, Tennessee will make. Yeah, they'll make the playoffs just because that division's. No, I don't think the No, I think Titans will get it.
Okay, fair enough.
They'll limp into playoffs, but Derrick Henry, 2 touchdown game, 140-yard rushing. Like that's what he's gonna do. Like this is a smash matchup. He does it every time to Houston. It's just.
So we saw Malik Willis play before, and he literally was completely inept for any of the skill position players. So Chiggy Okonkwo. I'm saying I'm fading Jiggy, right? You got to fade.
I'm fading all pass catchers for the Titans this week just because I was going to have Treylon Burks as a start, as a guy that you could start, but with Malik, I just don't see unless Malik starts ripping it and actually is confident.
Yeah.
I see 10, 12 pass attempts and that's it. So.
Oh God, it's going to be so bad. What about on the Houston side, man? We got Brandon Cooks. Looks like he's going to be playing. Chris Moore, if Brandon Cooks is in the game, is Chris Moore going to get 11 targets? Probably not, right?
No.
Like Brandon Cooks becomes the number 1 wide receiver in that offense.
Of course.
I was on record of saying that I thought Brandon Cooks was just, going to limp his way both literally and figuratively to the end of the season and not play another game for Houston. So obviously he's going to suit up. Good for you, Brandon Cooks. You've always been a character guy, which I respect.
He's a pro guy.
He's a pro guy. Ugh, man. Dare Gumbawale, Rex Burkhead. I'm not starting these idiots,
no
right?
interest. No interest. Yep.
Okay, let's talk some sex appeal, okay?
Yeah, let's talk some good games.
Let's talk the Kansas City versus the Seattle Seahawks. Of course, Kansas City's at home. It's a 49.5 over under on the games today. It is tied for it is the highest, along with the Minnesota New York Giants game, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I like a lot of players in this game, man. You like Ken Walker. You think that he's going to have another smash game. It's going to be great. Yep. DK Metcalf. Now, really the question is, how confident on a scale of 1 to 10 are you with starting Marquise Goodwin in place of Tyler Lockett, which another freaking boom.
Yeah.
The wide receiver 8 on the season, something like that, is Tyler Lockett, and losing him is just absolutely an absolute gut punch, especially with this dream matchup. Tell me, you are the Seattle Seahawks fan.
He'll get so Marquise will get run. He will be the wide receiver 2. I don't mind him as a flex start. He's a good start. They're going to be chasing all game. I don't see the Seattle Seahawks leading in this game. I think they're going to be chasing the whole time. Ken Walker is going to get 6-7 catches. He's going to have a career day in receptions. I just feel that they're going to be able to dump it off to him, and there's going to be more options for him or more opportunities for him just because of the Lockett not there. They're going to lean heavily on the 2 stars that they have in DK and Ken. And it's Kansas' second game back from an ankle issue. I think he'll push through, and I just think with this I think they're going to be in full chase mode. So they got to chase and put up points. They have to.
You know what? I think the best part about the whole Ken Walker narrative in the offseason was dude can't catch balls. Dude can't catch balls.
What
he's getting
fucking nonsense.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's bullshit. Just because he didn't doesn't mean he can't. Now, I'm not saying
exactly.
He ain't Austin Eckler. He ain't Christian McCaffrey. Fine. Can he be?
They don't have to be.
You don't have to be, man. You don't have to be. I love it. On the Kansas City side, man, Jarrett McKinnon and Isaiah Pacheco, I kind of like signing both those guys. Honestly, they're both getting pretty good usage, and they're both producing with their touches, which I like. Now, I see a whole lot of red because Seattle is shockingly good against the pass. They are the third matchup, like the third toughest matchup. Not good. A lot of red. Juju Smith-Schuster, I still am going to play him because of the volume. Like, if you've got him in your lineup, you're still playing him because of the volume. But pretty much everybody else, MVS, Hardman. Hardman is back, but he's not doing shit. Sky Moore, fuck. That's no good. So you're starting Travis Kelce, right? So really, it's Juju. That's the one guy I'm really confident starting, right?
No, I'm fully fading the wide receivers, but Juju will get looks. But this is going to be a Kelce smash game. This is it. Remember last week I said Kittle all day long against the Seattle Seahawks defense. Again, Kelce is going to do the same exact kind of thing that Kittle did. This is a smash week. I think 2 touchdowns is in the realm of possibility. I love Kelce this week. I actually have many parlays, including Kelce this week.
Yes.
And last week, people don't know, I was sweating it out last week. I had Kittle for the first touchdown, Kittle for 2 touchdowns, Kittle for 70 yards, and I had it with Tyler Lockett as a touchdown for 10K. And the only thing I missed was Tyler Lockett, and the dude broke his finger on the last drive, and I think he would have scored that last drive because I should have won 10K last week, but the dude broke his fucking hand, and that's it. Like, that's just football. But Kelce is gonna smash this week. This is his nuts week. It's gonna be a huge week.
Hey, Brandon, as a fellow dad, that's them breaks, baby. That's them breaks.
Yeah, I know. Broken fingers. Broke fingers.
Let's move on, baby. Let's move on. The people don't want to hear this. Okay, the next game we got going. Now, this one's another little sexy game. The Minnesota Vikings against the New York Giants. It's at home in Minnesota, so it's indoors, which we love this time of year. 49.5 over under. And I like this game environment a lot. I'm playing a lot of these players. Let's talk about the Giants side of things first. If you got Daniel Jones, man, especially in Superflex leagues as your QB2, start him with confidence. I love it. I love it. Darius Slayton, Ricky James, Isaiah Hodgins. Of those 3, I'm probably leaning Darius Slayton, right, as a top play from the wide receiver.
I like Darius Slayton. Yeah, I don't mind that one.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. We've been talking about it for the last month and a half. It's you start your wide receivers against Minnesota. Darius Slayton, in a lot of cases, is barely a starter on people's teams. But if he's your flex option, where would you rank him? Like, I know we don't do rankings here because that's not to be. There's no value in that. But he's going to be definitively probably like a wide receiver 2 this week, right? Like a low end wide receiver 2.
He's going to be full chase mode, dude. He's going to get some volume. He operates out of the slot some, so I like it a lot. I think Slayton's a nice play, but DJ is the play. Barkley's the play. That's going to be a full shootout, man. I think Giants have to win to get into the playoffs, don't they?
Pretty much, yeah. Here's what
they
I
have
like
to win.
With the over-unders is that it's still a pretty close game, right? Like the implied team totals, Giants are at 22 points and Minnesota's at 26 points. So both teams are expected to score points. Now, of course, you got your Vikings. depends on your options. I like Kirk Cousins, but he's right around that wide. Like he's going to be a QB 1-2, right? Like between 12 to 14. I think he finishes this week. Dalvin Cook, you're starting, of course. Justin Jefferson, you're starting. How confident are you starting KJ Osborne? He had a 36% target share last week. On the season, only 15%. Adam Thielen last week, only 9%, but on the season, 20%. KJ Osborne literally had a career week last week. You don't want to chase that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not starting KJ Osborne this week, are you?
Nope. I think that's exactly right. I think you're chasing if you start sliding him in a bunch of lineups when you're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that's full chase. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know TJ Hawkinson in general is a disappointment to fantasy, right? He hasn't met up to the expectations that we gave him. I mean, we thought he could be one of the top 3 type guys in conversation, but on the season, he's got a 20% target share, which is great for a tight end, right?
Yeah,
and he's got the 21st best matchup. So I think that if you got TJ Hawkinson, obviously it depends on your options, but I like TJ Hawkinson this week.
I like that too.
Question. Okay. A lot of Marquise Goodwin questions here. So Bryson coming in hot here. Pick 2, Marquise Goodwin, Drake London, or George Pickens. I think I'm sitting Goodwin.
You're sitting Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin, yeah. Between London and Pickens, or London, you're playing. I think London's just opportunity. I don't care if it's going to be Desmond Ridder. I'm playing London. Oh man, I just feel like
I like Goodwin.
So you like Goodwin over Pickens?
I like Goodwin because it's the game scripts, man. They're going to be chasing. I think it's just going to be.
And Mitchell Trubisky has really good chemistry. We saw it just last week. We were saying one of my hard pushes: start Deontay. He still didn't get a bloody touchdown. Good Lord, but he went. What was it? 10 for 100, pretty much in PPR.
Yeah, he had 14 points or something. 15.
It was 20 in PPR leagues. He had
20 points. Sorry, 20 points. Yeah, he had 20 points. Sorry,
15 in your half PPR league. So, yeah, I mean, I'm okay sitting George Pickens right now. He just that Steelers offense without Kenny Pickett in there, George Pickens just isn't fantasy relevant. So I'm okay with it. Let's go with the game script with Marquise Goodwin, Drake London, Bryson. Good luck. We got Ballin coming in here. He needs a QB. Okay, Gardner Minshew, the stash, the man I love. Kenny Pickett. Is Pickett playing or is it?
No, he's not. I don't think he's playing.
I don't think he's playing. He wouldn't be an option anyways. Brock Purdy or Mac Jones. For me, it's got to be Minshew, man. I like the matchup this week.
It's Minshew mania all day. I love it. Baby. I think him and Dallas Goedert are going to hook up for a TD. AJ Brown is one of the easiest wide receivers to throw to because you're so confident in the contested catch area. So Minshew is not scared. That dude is going to sling it. He doesn't care if he has to sling it 50 times. I like Minshew all day.
Okay. I love that. Okay, let's talk about Luca has a question for us here. I'm just double checking. Yeah, maybe I think Kenny Pickett actually is playing. So my whole analysis is totally wrong. It looks like he is actually going to play. So yeah, I can tell you how much I've paid attention to Pittsburgh Steelers. But
to the Steelers, yes.
I'm still fading. Still fading.
Yeah.
Okay, so Luca's coming in here. David Njoku or Greg Dulcich, PPR. Also need so let's talk about the tight end position first. David Njoku in an absolute horrendous matchup this week, or Greg Dulcich, which so Denver, it's a middling matchup against the Rams, right? I'm leaning Dulcich in this one.
I like Dulcich in this one a lot. Russ was talking about him all week this week as a special player. I think Dulcich is the guy against that Rams D. He can. No Aaron Donald this week, guys. No Aaron Donald. So Wilson will have a little bit of time to throw. So I like Dulcich.
Okay, I like it too. And then he needs an RB2. So I think it's just one of these guys. Okay, so J.K. Dobbins, Isaiah Pacheco, David Montgomery, or A.J. Dillon. To me, it's between Dobbins and Montgomery. But how could you set Montgomery? Just how good he's been? Even in that game, I think you got to play David Montgomery here. Yep. Now, J.K. Dobbins is a stud, and he's being fantastic. But at this point, David Montgomery, he's getting in the box. He's getting elite usage right now. You just can't sit David Montgomery. Sweet. Okay. Now, where were we? We were talking about this is fantastic.
KC. Okay, we were at KC.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the New England Cincinnati game. This game, it's going to be interesting. It's 41.5 over under. The Cincinnati Bengals are favored by about 3 points. I'm actually a little bit surprised this over under isn't a little bit lower. To be honest with you, I'm like I would take the under on this one. We know, of course, that New England has an elite rush defense, which really scares me for Joe Mixon this week. I mean, it depends on your options, but if you have a better option than Joe Mixon, I would consider playing that player. Even the wide receivers. Listen, it's about your options, right? And the reason, the only reason I bring it up is because I actually had a question in the Discord this week, and Joe Mixon was the lowest of the 4 that he was sitting. So it's viable. It's viable. But of course, Joe Mixon's still probably going to get the plurality of the opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
52% rush share last week, 52% on the season. I still worry about that rush defense, man. Like the Patriots have a ferocious rush defense. And even to the passing game, man, like you're starting Jamar Chase, you're starting T. Higgins. So you think that you're going to shut down Jamar Chase and you think that Tyler Boyd's going to be a viable play?
I think Tyler Boyd is very viable. I think Tyler Boyd's very viable because they're going to try and double. It's either going to be T week or Tyler week. I don't know who it's going to be. It really depends on how aggressive they are with Jamar Chase. They like to double the number one pass catcher. So somebody's going to get freed up. And it could be Tyler Boyd week. It really could be.
Okay. To me, that's more of like a shot in the dark sort of thing. Like if you're absolutely desperate, you put in Tyler Boyd. He's just been so inconsistent on the season with all 3 wide receivers playing. I worry about it, but point well taken. Yep. Okay, on the New England side, I ain't starting Mac Jones. Reminder Stevenson, fine, you can start him. None of the wide receivers. And if you're desperate, you can start Hunter Henry. But really, it's Ramondre, and that's pretty much it. Okay, let's go to the Detroit versus the Carolina game. Now, I like this game, man. This one is interesting to me. It's the only reason why I would even consider Sam Darnold, but 43.5 over-under. Of course, the Lions are favored by 2.5 points. I kind of like this game, man. Like, talk about DJ Moore. You were talking about DJ Moore as one of your flex plays. Talk about DJ Moore.
Yeah, I just think DJ Moore is getting, with Sam Darnold, he's kind of coming alive a little bit. He's getting some look, getting some volume. They're going to be, chasing a little bit, and I like DJ Moore. I just want them to slide him into the slot just for a little bit. If they can get him in the slot just a few times, especially within the red zone, I think he scores. The Lions have a real soft spot against a slot receiver, and DJ Moore is talented enough to play there. So let's just move him in there and see if he can get in and score for you. I don't mind Dante Foreman this week as well.
So here's an interesting stat for you, Brandon.
Sure.
Detroit Lions are allowing the 4th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers. Literally 50-50 split in terms of the slot versus the outside wide receiver. 21.2 allowed to the slot, 21.1 to the outside wide receiver.
It doesn't matter. DJ Moore's a good play. I like DJ Moore then.
DJ Moore's going to produce points regardless.
That makes me bullish on him. There you go.
Yeah, I like that one. So you're good with Deontay Foreman. I mean, I feel like Chuba Hubbard's even a decent flex play. He's been getting the usage, and he's actually looked better than Deontay Foreman for my money. He's looked better. And then on the Detroit side, man, I like Swift and Jamal Williams this week. Both have good matchups. Jared Goff has an average matchup. It's a 15th ranked matchup, which I love. I'm going to say, Ben, you're playing, of course. Now, DJ Chark, man, he is interesting to me. He's interesting to me. The problem is he's not getting any freaking targets. He gets like 3 targets a game, which is painful. So, shot in the dark again. I guess this is going to be my Saints. I just finished watching Survivor. I just got up watching season finale of Survivor. That's probably why it's in the back of my head. But yeah, shot in the dark. I think that DJ Chark is in DFS terms, he'd be like a GPP type play where he could have a fantastic game. Talent is there.
They got to do something with Jameis. They got to start ramping him up some. They really do. I mean,
Chark?
They got to see. No, Jameson Williams. I think they need. I think they need to pump. I think they need to start pushing him in the game a little bit more and get him some looks. But so one thing about DeAndre Swift this week, no injury designation again. So that's happened twice this year. The last time he blew up. That was his big game a couple weeks back. This week, no injury designation. I like Swift a lot this week. So I think Swift comes through in the clutch.
I need a lot of Swifty action. So let's hope
I
that
think
you're
it's gonna
right.
happen.
Let's hope you're right. All right, Trey. Good morning and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you, Trey. Hopefully your
Yeah.
summer warm. Full PPR needs to start one. Rashad White, Devin Singletary, or Jerry Judy. I think I'm going Rashad White in this one, right? Just Singletary, the game environment worries me a little bit. Jerry Judy, he's just been too inconsistent. Although when he's played, he's actually been pretty good for his part.
Yeah.
But so really, it's
Yeah.
between Rashad White and Jerry Judy for me. I just don't trust Jerry Judy. I just don't.
I'll roll Rashad White. Last week really hurt. It really hurt last week.
Yeah, it did.
Last week was rough, but I'll take a swing again. But Singletary is interesting to me, man, just because of the weather. I really think the rush guys are going to come through in that game, and I don't mind Singletary if you want to go that route. But with Jerry Judy, is Sutton playing?
He's supposed to be playing, yeah. So if I look at our projections over at dfsarmy.com, my favorite tool is, of course, the matchup tool. Love it, love it, love it. All right, okay, so Jerry Judy projection is 13.72 points in a PPR, and Rashad White is 12.23. So it's very, very close. It's showing about a point difference in full PPR leagues, Trey. So you're probably good to start Rashad White or Jerry Judy.
Yeah.
If the Leonard Fournette presence worries you a little bit, I'm okay for you to go to Jerry Judy. He seems to have a better connection than Cortland Sutton does, which talk about a disappointment, man. Talk about a disappointment. But I'm still leaning Rashad White. It's a good game environment. Tampa should be up. They are favored by 8 points against Arizona. Like, it could be the Rashad White show. I like Rashad White in that one.
Okay.
We got Rob coming in here. Oh, and regarding the tight end position, no, I'm sticking with Greg Dulcich, man. I like Dulcich.
Greg Dulcich all the way.
I have no faith in Taysom Hill. I mean, he could get the touchdown. He could just, shock the world. But
all the advanced analytics love Dulcich. He's a good player.
He's a good player this week. Okay, so we got Rob coming in. Rob Kane, Tyler Algier, Marquise Goodwin, or Chris Moore in flex. Full PPR. Oh, it's a 14-teamer. This is interesting.
I like that. Good one. It's a good one for me.
So you think Marquise Goodwin here? So the reason that we're not as high on Chris Moore this week is because Brandon Cooks is supposed to be back this week. Nico Collins is going to miss it. Another bloody game. That's another disappointing season for the poor kid, man.
Yeah.
So Brandon Cooks is the superior player over Chris Moore, right? Like, Chris Moore's only been really good and viable because he's getting the fantasy production. Last week, he laid up like 6 points, 4 points, something like that.
He had volume. He had all his volume in like the first half.
Yeah, and
then he didn't get a look again. It was crazy.
Yeah. Tyler Algier, I don't really trust right now because Cordell Patterson is still there, and it is a challenging matchup against Baltimore. They're the third toughest team to rush against, so I don't like Tyler Algier, especially for his type of game, right? Like, he's a grinder type game, right? He's a bowling ball, the BMI specialist. Like Tyler Algier as a player, not this week. Yeah, I'm okay with Marquise Goodwin, man. It's a wide receiver too. Let's go with Marquise Goodwin.
He's going to be the wide receiver too for the Seahawks, man. Definitely,
that's
what it is.
Ooh. Okay, plug your nose here, Brendan. We got Clamped Easy. I don't know. That's an awesome name. We got James Conner or Mike Evans in the flex. I don't think you can
Conner.
I think you got to go James Conner here, man. Yeah, it's
Conner. He's gonna get passes through the air. Conner. Yeah. Lean on the run. The McSorley can't do it all. So it's going to be a big James Conner.
Okay. And let's get one more for Bali here. We need a flex. Oh boy. So Leonard Fournette, Rashad White, or Devonta Smith. I'm probably leaning Rashad White here, right?
Fuck.
Like, right? Okay. So let's talk about the Devonta Smith choice here. So we got Gardner Minshew is going to be playing, right? He's got a good connection with Dallas Goedert that's already been established. And then AJ Brown's going to get fed, right? So really the third option here is Devonta Smith. How much do you trust Devonta Smith going up against Dallas with the backup quarterback Gardner Minshew? I'd say Minshew's probably top 4 or 5 backup in the league, if not a top 3. I still don't know if all 3 players are going to be fantasy relevant. Smith definitely takes a hit with Goddard being back. I'm probably leaning Rashad White here.
I guess I'm going Rashad White. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're both going Rashad here. If you had a second choice, who would it be? Probably Devonta Smith, right? And you just
it would be Devonta Smith, and because he's going to get some singled up matchups, and I like him in single coverage. Like, he is such a stud. So he's going to win routes, and it's just up to Minshew to get it there.
Yeah. Okay. This is an interesting question. So we got Tua
Tua
versus Allen
Allen.
today. So the snap call is usually going to be Allen. I understand why you're even asking this question because of the weather
Yes.
conditions in Chicago, and of course Tua's playing at home against Green Bay. It's a 50-point over under. Man,
Tua.
26 point. I'm not. I'm not. I will
I'll have some
not.
balls here. Tua.
No, see, I could not look myself in the mirror sitting Josh Allen. I don't care what the game environment is. We've seen that Josh Allen has the ability to throw through the wind. He has an elite receiving
It's true.
core, and the man knows how to pick up
He
yards.
can run
on
100
the ground.
yards.
Yeah, I Shane Sealy am not sitting Josh Allen no matter what this weekend. I will not sit the best quarterback in the game right now. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
Brandon.
Okay. I'll have some balls. I'm going Tua.
So we're split. We're split there, TS. We didn't really help you. I apologize, but I'm going
Sorry.
Allen. He's going to. I think they're both going to produce, to be honest.
Yes, both will be producing.
Yeah. Okay, so then at the tight end position, we got TS coming in again. Darren Waller or Pat Fryermuth? I'm going Darren Waller, man. He looked good last week. He looks healthy. At this stage of the season, I think you got to rock him. Okay, and then Mostert over Murray in flex if Wilson doesn't play. Yeah, man, definitely. You like Latavius Murray over Raheem Mostert? Assuming Jeff Wilson
is Jeff Wilson. If Jeff Wilson, what's his status? Give me his status because that's the biggest key here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull it up real quick. It's gonna be questionable. Let me just check it real quick.
If he plays, I'm telling you, they like Jeff Wilson a lot down in Miami. So it's not gonna be Mozart like last week. It's Murray's got the workload 100% locked in. It's his. No Aaron Donald to stop the run against. I see Murray getting in the box. He's gonna get in the box.
Yeah, and Jeff Wilson is trending towards playing this week. He
exactly. So he's gonna be snappy.
A week. Yeah, that one's too risky for me.
Murray. It's Murray.
Yeah, go Latavius Murray. I don't love it. We were just talking about, was it before the show? I can't remember if it was before the show or live on the show. We talked about so much stuff. Just the fact that Latavius Murray is given the opportunity to be the all down, every touch running back. And it's just like, what are you guys doing? It's asinine. It's scary. It's disappointing. But, I mean, Javonte Williams, I guess, could scare. I guess Javonte's no good, Brandon?
I guess so.
Is that
he's only one of the best. He's just insane.
Shocking.
Fire Hackett. Get Sean Payton in Denver somehow, some way.
Okay. We got more questions coming in here. Let's just answer. Let's do what the people want. Are you benching Mark Andrews for Juwan Johnson, Brandon?
Oh, I was just talking about this in our group chat, man. Yeah. Literally. Oh my God. Oh man.
Here's the thing. Okay, so the New Orleans Saints, Chris Olave is out, right? Which, check mark in favor of Juwan Johnson. However, when you look at that game, which we talked about as one of the first games on the slate, it's going to be in Cleveland, and the conditions are going to be horrendous.
Horrendous.
Let me see if I can read it real quick here. So it's going to be 20 to 25 mile per hour sustained winds and gusts likely a little over 40 miles per hour. So it could be very, very risky for any of the pass catchers. The over-under on that game is 32 points, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's a dome team going there. They're not used to this, man. I think it's going to be a problem. I'm staying Andrews. If it was decent weather, I would have balls and say Johnson. But because the weather's so bad, I just feel like the dome team is not going to do well.
Yeah, you just can't. I just don't think it's just not reasonable to do it. Let's actually talk about that game right now. Okay, so we got Baltimore going up against Atlanta, which is an interesting game. Again, because Tyler Huntley is going to be the starting quarterback. We have, from an over-under perspective, it's only 34.5 points. The implied team total for the Atlanta Falcons is 14 points. It's just absolutely.
Oh my God! Hopefully, it's a Drake London TD.
Yeah. You're hoping for Drake London, Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier. If you have other choices, you're gonna want to sit both these guys. From a Baltimore perspective, it actually is the 29th best or 29th ranked tight end, so it's the third best matchup for a tight end.
It's Andrews all day. Yeah.
If Tyler Huntley doesn't utilize Mark Andrews, how the hell, again, the fourth alternate quarterback, Tyler Huntley, according to Adam Schefter this week, it's just shocking to me. It's just shocking.
It's
deplorable. It's embarrassing.
It really is.
Embarrassing.
Like that's embarrassing stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's not a good look for the NFL.
Oh, it's just not. Tyler Huntley, if you can bench him, I would. He hasn't done anything in fantasy football recently. Cancels the ball. You're going to depend on points on his legs, which he might get points on his legs, which is what you want. J.K. Dobbins, I'm comfortable starting. I like J.K. this week. None of the wide receivers. Demarcus Robinson, no. So
it's Andrews and J.K. That's it.
That's it. On the Atlanta side, again, Drake London. That's pretty much it. Okay, we got Jen asking a question here. Would you guys play Brandon Cooks or Damian Harris this week in a flex? I'm probably going Brandon Cooks. Yeah, I'm going Brandon Cooks. We know that Ramondre is the guy, and Damian Harris is coming back. If he plays, he's going to be coming back from the injury. Brandon Cooks should get 8 to 9 targets this week.
That Ramondre Stevens has been a baller all year.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so full PPR. This is Mini Jordan 718. What's going on, Mini? Full PPR. Choose a wide receiver. DJ Chark, Raheed Shaheed, Chris Moore, Marquise Goodwin, Jahan Dotson. Ooh, I like Dotson.
I like that. I like
Sutton,
Dotson.
Burks, or Richie James, who's got a solid matchup this week. I kind of want
Dotson.
I kind of like Jahan Dotson here, baby.
Yeah,
like he's
Dotson.
He's balling right now. He's catching a touchdown a game pretty much. He's just, which is, yes, one would argue is unsustainable, but he looks good while doing it.
He's a beast, dude. I like him. His snap rate was just jumped up last week. I think he was almost up to like 80%. So 70, high 70s. So the more he's on the field, the more that guy is going to get opportunity. They can't. Curtis Samuel is non-existent when Jahan Dotson's on the field because that dude is legitimately a stud. And we said it before the draft.
Yes. Okay. If I'm ranking these guys, though, if I'm ranking them, so I'm going Jahan Dotson first. Is Courtland Sutton your 2?
No, it would be Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin.
It would be Dotson, Goodwin, Sutton, Burks.
So Chris Moore's not even in the conversation, or DJ Chark.
No. Nope.
Okay. Fair enough.
Not to me.
All right, let's move on to another one. Then we'll get to your question here, Ryan. Okay, so we got Washington at San Francisco. Now, this is one where you might worry a little bit about Jahan Dotson because it's a 37.5 over-under. Implied team total, San Francisco's at 22, and Washington's only at 15 points. Again, you're kind of hoping that it's going to be the Jahan Dotson show. Terry McLaurin, I think, is going to get shut down this week, so that worries me a little bit. Yeah. Of the players, man, I mean, Terry McLaurin, you're probably going to start him. Jahan Dotson.
You got to start him, yeah.
Yeah, but you're going to – Jahan Dotson's about your options. He's a flex play, which we've established. Taylor Heineke, if you can bench him, do not play Taylor Heineke. If you have to, well, live and die by the sword, I suppose. San Francisco side of things, man, also doesn't look good. We know Debo's going to be out. Christian McCaffrey, you're starting, of course. Brandon Ayuk.
Yes, I like Ayuk this week a little bit.
Like Brandon Ayuk this week? It's an average matchup.
I do think it's an average. It's a neutral matchup. The guy's as a sick route runner. I think with the blow up game of Kittle, they're going to start looking at Kittle. Defenses will be worried about it. So I could see Ayuk being the pivot this week for the Niners.
Yeah, it's funny because Kittle had one of the top 3 matchups at tight end position last week. This week, he is the stone worst. Washington is the best team against the tight end position. So it's going to be a rough week, I think, for George Kittle. Hopefully the talent will prevail, but it's going to be around an Ayuk week if we have to look at the metrics. Mini Jordan, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate the engagement. All right, Ryan's coming in again. Thoughts on Pacheco this week? So why do we like Isaiah Pacheco this week? I think just in general, it's a pretty favorable matchup. I mean, it's literally the 31st best matchup. The best team to run against is Houston. The second best team to run against is Seattle. We know that Kansas City is going to put up points. We know that Kansas City is going to be able to move the ball. From the wide receiver perspective, Seattle is the 3rd best team at protecting against wide receiver, which means it's going to be a tough matchup for Juju Smith-Schuster, Marcos Valdes-Scantling, Mecole Hardman if they play. It's going to be Travis Kelce. It's going to be Isaiah Pacheco. And the worry, of course, is that Jarrett McKinnon is going to take away touches from Isaiah Pacheco. Yes, but Pacheco's still getting 45% snap share in recent weeks versus Jarrett McKinnon closer to 30%.
It would be very Andy Reid to go to him pivoting to Pacheco this week because everybody's thinking about Jarrett McKinnon. I could totally see him doing that.
Yeah, so I just think in general, the game environment is good for him. We know Kansas City is going to be able to put up points. The implied team total for Kansas City, Brandon, is 29.8 points this week. So Vegas thinks that they're going to put up a lot of points, and Isaiah Pacheco is going to be a really big part of that. We like the fact that he's explosive, so we can put up a 50-yard run, 40-yard run, like he knows how to break it.
Sure.
And Seattle, they don't let you throw the ball against them. So.
Also, Jordan Brooks last week got nicked up a little bit, left the game for a little bit. So who knows how he's feeling coming into this week? He's our best move linebacker. He's the guy. So if he's not in there, it's going to make it even more suspect.
Yep, exactly. Okay. White Boy, and we're going to get you in a second here. Let's talk about the Philly-Dallas game. Obviously, Gardner Minshew is the guy, but okay, from an over-under perspective, we are looking at 47 points. So even though Jalen Hurts isn't going to be playing, Vegas still likes this game. And it's 25 points for the Dallas implied and 21 implied for Philadelphia. Both teams are going to be able to put up points. Let's talk about the Philadelphia side of things. I like the Minshew matchup this week. I think it's going to be solid.
Do.
Yeah. I worry a little bit about Devonta Smith. A.J. Brown, you're starting. Dallas Goedert, you're starting.
Miles Sanders, you're starting too, because Miles Sanders doesn't have to worry about Jalen Hurts taking the ball away from him in read option plays, because
that's true. That's a good point.
Sanders is going to get quite a good run inside the red zone. He's going to get all the looks inside the red zone. So I like Miles Sanders as well. Dallas is kind of suspect defense. It's kind of an up and down defense.
Yeah.
I like Minshew. I have full confidence in Minshew. I think he's going to be great. So okay. I actually think Philly wins this game with Minshew.
Oh, that'd be so sweet. Dak Prescott. Philly's a tough matchup for the quarterbacks, but you're not sitting Dak Prescott if you have him. Mm-hmm. I like both Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott this week. We actually had to tell somebody to sit Tony Pollard. That was just about choices because he had better choices. But Tony Pollard, if you have him, probably you're going to want to start him.
Fire him up.
It's a tough matchup for the wide receivers. You're starting CeeDee Lamb. Last week, Michael Gallup disappointed. If you have a better option than Gallup, sit him. Noah Brown, man, had a huge week at the expense of both Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. You don't want to start Noah Brown. Don't chase the points.
Don't chase.
Dalton Schultz, solid matchup, man. Average matchup. So I'm okay with it.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. White Boy. Dave Montgomery, Ken Walker, or J.K. Dobbins? You got to go Ken, right? I'm going Ken Walker.
I love Ken Walker this week. I'm just so in on Ken this week. I think he's going to score. I think he's going to get career high in pass catching.
Yeah. Second choice is David Montgomery, which we already chose over J.K. Dobbins. Yep. Honestly, all three are legit choices this week.
Dude, great. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, stud.
Ooh, Matt
Start
Chen
2.
Coming in here. Start 2. DJ Chark, Jahan Dotson, and Romeo Doubs. So definitely Dotson. And then
I think it's Dotson and Chark.
Green Bay is going up against Miami this week. And Rodgers last week was talking about just how much he liked Romeo Doubs as his route running. And of course, he also took a shot at
Christian Watson.
You want to catch the ball, you want to catch touchdowns, you got to run the right route. So man, if this is a full
I don't like either. Can we find somebody else on the wire or something? Like, can we find somebody else?
I don't mind DJ Chark's matchup this week, but he hasn't really produced. I'm going assuming it's a full PPR match. I'm going Dotson. I'm going Dubs. Yeah, Dubs and Dotson.
Yeah,
double D, baby, double D. Okay,
double D's.
Okay, Jem, we're gonna get your question in a second here, but I want to talk about this Las Vegas Pittsburgh game.
Oh.
So this one is another lower game, a lot of low game totals this week, which makes sense, right? It's in Pittsburgh. We know the weather conditions, whether it's going to be cold, the wind shouldn't be a factor. So from a passing game perspective, it shouldn't be bad. It sounds like Kenny Pickett's going to play. So apologies from the start of the show. Still, it's a 19.75 implied total for Pittsburgh, 18 points for the Las Vegas Raiders. You're starting Josh Jacobs. You're starting Devontae Adams. And you're starting Darren Waller on the Las Vegas side. Start your studs on that side.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, this is a little bit more interesting. Najee Harris, he got the touchdown last week, but so did Jalen Warren.
Yep.
But you probably don't have a lot of better choices than Najee, right? So you're definitely starting Najee. Deontay has done nothing with Kenny Pickett.
I know.
Like, he's done
I know.
nothing.
I
So
know.
I really worry, and same thing with George Pickens. He had a great start, but the last month or so, George Pickens really hasn't done much. So
How good is the Raiders against the tight end position?
they're the 24th worst. So call it top 10. They're top
Pat
10 against the tight
Freiermuth
end
might be a
position.
play.
Yeah. Pat Freiermuth's a reasonable play. But if you have better choices in Deontay and George Pickens, I would consider them. If Kenny Pickett is deemed to play, which crap, then then I would try to sit both those players if you had a choice. Okay, we got a few games left, but let's talk quickly about Jen's question here. So Jen's saying, this is for her sister. It's 1 point PPR. She's starting Cousins, Jefferson, Etienne, Kelsey, Flex, and Pacheco. Would you play DJ Moore over Ayuk and Miles Sanders over Mostert? And yes. So I'm playing
100%.
I'm playing DJ Moore over Brandon Ayuk. Yes, for sure. And I'm definitely playing Miles Sanders over Mostert and Antonio Gibson. No, that's good. I think that's a solid matchup, Jen.
Solid. Miles Sanders, I'm telling you, he's going to get more work than normal.
And oh my God, she's got Justin Jefferson this week. He's going to have a good game. Travis Etienne already put up solid points. I think he put up like 14 points.
Kelsey's in a smash.
Okay. And Kelsey's in an absolute smash. So your sister is in a good position, Jen, to actually smash this week.
Kelsey teams are going to win this week.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about the first Christmas game. Green Bay versus Miami. Now, you're starting Aaron Jones.
Watson.
You're starting Christian Watson. What's your confidence level with Aaron Rodgers going up against Miami? Second best matchup on the week.
I think he can. Week, right? I think the Green Bay is playing a little bit better football the last 3 weeks. I think Watson is going to come alive in this game. This is going to be more of a. I think this is going to shoot out more than people think. Watson is going to be a play and he's going to score. I have a feeling they're going to find single coverage for him and he's going to win that matchup. And I just like Watson a lot this week. I think he's going to be great.
Vegas agrees with you. Vegas has this game at a 50-point over-under, which is the highest game slate on the slate this week. This
can shoot out.
It can definitely shoot out. On the Miami side, you're starting Tua. Now, are you confident starting either Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson if they both play? I'm not confident really starting either, right? We saw Jeff Wilson like a shot out of a canyon the first couple of weeks, but really since that San Francisco game has done nothing or he's been injured. Yeah, I worry about that. Tyreek Hill, of course, you're starting. Jalen Waddle, of course, you're starting. Don't want to start Mike Gesicki if I don't have to. That's pretty much it. Okay, let's keep going here. We got a few more games and we're going to call it. Okay, Denver versus the Rams. Honestly, I'm sitting everybody if I can. I wouldn't play any. I'm not kidding you. I wouldn't play.
Lat Murray is gonna get in the box. I'm telling you. Aaron Donald's not in the freaking. Yeah, Aaron Donald's not playing, guys. He's gonna be able to run the ball. It's just it's how it works.
It is what it is.
No Donald. You start the running back.
Yeah. Let me just. Why isn't he on our list right now? Latavius Murray, where are you? Says he's okay. Yeah. Interesting. So he's questionable at the foot, but he said he's ready to play on Sunday. So
he says he's good.
Murray's going to be playing. Okay. Yeah. Good enough for me. Who might have questioned the man? Tampa Bay at Arizona. Now, in theory, on paper, this looks like a pretty decent matchup for Tampa Bay. But do we trust anybody other than the running backs right now? Not really, right? I guess Chris Godwin has actually been.
Chris Godwin's a stud, man.
Yeah. Chris Godwin's been kind of relevant. Are you benching Mike Evans?
No.
He's had nothing.
I mean, even when you, dude, I'm telling you, like, well, most of the time, if you have Mike Evans, you're probably not playing this week. If you had him, because like if you had him, you're probably not playing this week. But
maybe
Chris
Dynasty,
Godwin,
right?
Mike Evans, Dynasty play. I don't mind Mike Evans. I think he can burst. They've been close on some throws here. Like they've been close.
Fair enough. On the Arizona side. James Conner, you're starting him just because of the opportunity. DeAndre Hopkins, you're starting him. I'm not starting Marquise Brown. I just don't trust him. Trey McBride,
Nope.
You can't really start him, right? It's a good matchup, but you can't really start him. Okay, last game on the slate, the Monday night killer. Chargers versus Indianapolis. I mean, obviously you're starting Justin Herbert. You're starting Austin Eckler. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, you're starting them. I don't care if it's a tough matchup. You're starting them, right? Okay, so starting all your Chargers players. Now, Indianapolis, this is really the tough question, okay? The questions I've been hearing all week is Zach Moss or Deion Jackson or Zach Moss. If you had to break out your crystal ball, Brandon, I mean, listen, okay. From a game script perspective.
Yes, thank you. You went there. That's where you go.
Yeah. Yep. So from a game script perspective, the Chargers should crush them, but they're only a 4-point favorite. The Chargers over Indianapolis, but just based on the fact that Indianapolis is going to be playing from behind, I think Deion Jackson's the play this week.
Thank you. That's the play, Deion Jackson.
Yeah, yes. Zach Moss is horrible. He's just not a good football player.
Deion Jackson can actually catch the football a little bit, so I think he'll get some points out of the air for sure. I think that's the play.
I said this on the Monday waiver wire show, Brandon. And I say, if common sense prevails, which is a big ask in Indianapolis right now. I get it. It's a big ask. But if common sense prevails, Deion Jackson should get the plurality of the touches. He should lead the backfield. There's a good opportunity for him to get into the end zone because guess what, Brandon? This is the third best matchup on the slate this week for the running back position.
Yeah. Deion Jackson should score.
Should be good.
Somebody on that backfield is going to score. I just feel Zach Moss is a one-dimensional player. Deion Jackson can do it all.
If he has one dimension, I think he's like half a dimension. But hey, listen,
he's
been a nice guy, just not somebody I want on my fantasy team. That's it, brother. We did it in under an hour. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to me. And listen, to our DFS Army VIP members and anybody who's listening, frankly, you don't have to be a VIP member to listen to this show. Congratulations to you if you're having this conversation and you're still involved in the dance, because right now it's semifinals in the playoffs. And I pray that your team doesn't play in week 18. It should be this week and next week for your final. Good luck. Tweet at us at DFS Army. Let us know how you did in your matchups. Brandon, before we head out here, is there a Christmas miracle that you need this weekend? A player that you need to just explode?
I need a T. Higgins, Joe Burrow 2-touchdown game because I got that stack in several spots, and I would like that to go off. T. Higgins would be wonderful. I just don't know with your Pats. Yeah, wow. I just don't know.
Here's the thing: for Cincinnati to really go off, that means the Pats have to put up points, which I'm not confident that they can put up points.
No, I don't think they're going to go up.
I guess remember, what's that, Brandon?
I remember Joe Burrow had one of his best games against the Saints when the Saints sucked, and it was just a tilted game. He was just throwing all over the place. So that could happen. I just need the T-bombs to drop on the New England Patriots.
From a pure gameplay perspective, Joe Burrow looks as good as he's been. He looks sharp. The team looks good. The team looks healthy. They should be good. But
didn't I say he was going to be a top 3 option this year when his pass attempts skyrocketed this year? He went up into the Matthew Stafford type of pass attempts, and now he is a top 3-4 quarterback in fantasy. Joe Burrow is so underrated in fantasy. It's ridiculous. I love Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and you know what? We're gonna go back. We're gonna have a show in the next couple of weeks after the finals where we're gonna just look back in the season. Some of the plays that we liked that failed. And some of the plays we liked that did really well. Some of the plays that we thought were horrible, though, actually were pretty good. AKA Josh Jacobs. But I think a lot of the industry got it wrong there. But I will say 2 of my biggest fades this season, Brandon, were Allen Robinson and Gabe Davis, based off where they were being drafted. And
you're right.
So far, that was the right choice.
You're right.
We got all offseason to talk about what we did well.
Yep.
Good luck this week in the playoffs, Brandon. Good luck,
guys.
Thank you for jumping on. We got one more show next week. Hopping back for the finals. Hopefully, you'll join us. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Talk to you soon. Good luck.
Peace.
Yeah, big time. Knowing that.